Before the haunting story of Tilikum and Dawn Brancho, there are numerous terrifying tales about captive killer whales, including how they die in unsuitable pools, how they sometimes stop eating, and how they sometimes snap, disobey instructions, and kill their trainers. There was another captive orca attack that killed the world. In this video, we'll tell the sad story of Alexis Martinez, a young trainer that was killed by his Keto, a male killer whale that the man knew and loved. But why did the orca kill him? Find out in the video. Welcome to Wild Assault. On the eve of Christmas in 2009, Alexis Martinez was 29 years old and an orca trainer at Tenerife's Loro Parque since 2004. In 2006, he began training orcas, also known as killer whales. Although he enjoyed his position, he had been experiencing some doubts as of late. He could not help but feel that his job had exhausted him. Moreover, he no longer felt as secure in the water as he once did. Martinez had a nagging feeling that something disastrous was about to occur. In retrospect, Martinez was concerned about more than just a feeling. His girlfriend later revealed that he was actually concerned about the animal's behavior, specifically Keto. One of the male orcas, Laurel Park, had 4 orcas, 2 males, Keto and Tekoa, and 2 females, Kahana and Skyla. Alexis Martinez collaborated with them closely. Prior to being transported to Laurel Park in Tenerife, all 4 orcas were raised in captivity at SeaWorld Orlando in the United States. However, the orcas were unhappy. They lacked a female leader to guide their makeshift pod, as would be expected of wild orca behavior. They were therefore stressed, entangled in power games, of low social standing, and uncertain. The lack of a leader likely made the orcas feel confused and unsafe, causing them to become fearful and aggressive. Alexis recorded the animal's behavior in his journals in the months preceding his untimely demise, expressing concern over their apparent frustration and hostility. However, the concerning behavior of the animal did not emerge solely in relation to each other. On September 2, 2009, Martinez wrote that one of the other trainers, Brian Rokic, in a minor altercation with Keto, had a negative impact on Keto's day. The man added that Keto had a terrible day. In Laurel Park, everything was not well. Alexis Martinez continued to drain the animals at the park despite his concerns. There was much to be accomplished. Alexis was under stress and pressure to create a new show for the holiday, and the holiday was quickly approaching. He was worn out, but that was the way things were. Martinez understood that he needed to be well rested and calm to remain safe in the water with killer whales. But he did not always have this option. On December 24, 2009, shortly before 10:30 a.m., Alexis Martinez began his usual training session with Keto. Keto was a 14-year-old orca male, born and raised in SeaWorld throughout the United States before he was flown to Laurel Park. With only one day until the highly anticipated Christmas show, he knew he had to ensure everything ran smoothly. The session began satisfactorily. Martinez was scheduled to perform with another trainer. In the morning rehearsal, they ran alongside 5 other runners from the orchestra, Keto. The male orca appeared to be in a good mood, eager to perform and receive tasty fish as a reward. Despite this, the trainers were extremely attentive. They were aware that Keto preferred to work alongside other orcas. He preferred it to swimming alone in the pool prior to the start of the session. Each trainer had taken their designated positions. Keto was joined by Alexis Martinez in the water. Initially, Keto behaved appropriately and performed as expected. He was rewarded for his attentiveness to the instructors. Martinez then attempted a behavior known as a stand-on spy hop. The trainer stands on the rostrum or tip of the orca's beak as the animal emerges from the water. This action is dramatic and impressive. Alexis Martinez lost his balance and fell off the podium into the water after Keto reached the proper height, but came up with a twist. The conduct was admirable, but not admirable enough. Martinez determined that it was neither deserving of a reward nor a reprimand. Instead, he issued a Loris scenario, also known as the least reinforcing scenario. He made eye contact with Keto and then paused, indicating that despite Keto's failure, he still had the opportunity to receive reinforcement, if he kept his cool. Alexis returned to the stage and gave Keto an ice snowball as a reward for being calm. A special treat for the animal. Martinez again attempted the spy hop. It followed the same path. Keto attained the correct height, but twisted once more. Martinez has fallen. The man issued another Loris. Then another trainer summoned Keto. The trainer fed the animal some fish, then returned it to Alexis Martinez so he could continue practicing. Martinez seizes Kato's podium with both hands to steer the whale toward the stage while submerged. It was a normal motion, but that was when the trainer's luck began to run out. He began to probe Martinez beyond what was necessary or normal, gradually approaching the bottom of the 36-foot pool. The man let go of the whale and swam to the surface so that he could give it another loris. However, the killer whale lost its call this time. Instead of remaining stationary, Kato moved between Martinez and the stage. It was an act of defiance, the initial indication of the impending aggression. Brian Rokeach acted swiftly to defuse the situation upon observing this. He observed that Kato appeared disinterested in remaining under control, and that the animal's eyes were slightly widened. Roki instructed Martinez to swim slowly to the ramp leading to the other pools, and then exit the water. The movement was sufficient to attract Kato's attention, and Alexis Martinez's fate was subsequently sealed. The orca swam frantically toward the 29-year-old man. Kato grabbed Martinez's leg and dragged him to the bottom of the pool upon reaching him. When Kato resurfaced to breathe, they believed he was obedient for the first time. The animal then submerged again in order to reach Martinez. Kino pushed Martinez around the pool before resurfacing the trainer with his body draped over his podium. When the trainers attempted to close the gate after the orca entered the empty back pool, Kato turned around and wedged his head between it to prevent it from closing. To divert the orca away from the gate, a second net was required. The attack was finally over, but Alexis Martinez did not reappear. Martinez was retrieved by Brian Roque after he dove into the water and swam to the bottom of the pool. It was too late when paramedics arrived and took over the rescue efforts. Alex Martinez had departed. Martinez. His passing was not devoid of controversy. Laurel Park initially claimed that his death was the result of a tragic accident, but many things didn't add up. The attack occurred around 10:25 a.m., but Martinez was not declared dead until 11:35 a.m. Ample time to get one's story straight. And the initial reports made no mention of the man's ears, nose, and eyes gushing with blood, an indicator of severe internal bleeding. Blood would have contradicted SeaWorld and Laurel Park's explanation of a simple drowning. The official autopsy shed additional light, describing Alexis Martinez's death as violent and listing multiple cuts and bruises as his injuries. The collapse of both lungs, rib and sternal fractures, a lacerated liver, severely damaged vital organs, and puncture marks consistent with orca teeth. The death of Alexis Martinez received almost no coverage. 2 months later, however, Dawn Brancho, another SeaWorld trainer, was killed in front of thousands of visitors at the Orlando, Florida attraction, 6 years following her death. SeaWorld has decided to cease breeding orcas in captivity. Alexis Martinez, a young orca trainer at Laurel Park, met a devastating fate at the hands of Kato, a male killer whale he knew and loved. Martinez had expressed concerns about the behavior of the orcas, particularly their frustration and hostility, in his journals leading up to the incident. Despite these concerns, Martinez continued to work with the animals, and this work ended in a wild assault.